Hey, this is Victor with your Best Body Blueprint. Today I'm going to show you how to make a quick and easy pulled pork, no smoker required. I'm going to do it in the Instant Pot. Let's do it. Okay, so what I have here is about a 3-pound Boston butt. Then I've got my spice mixture. Got some extra virgin olive oil, and I have the Instant Pot. And then we're going to make a bone broth in here, which is a cup of water and a teaspoon of this bone broth concentrate. I get this at Walmart, and there's several options available on Amazon as well. But just kind of shake this up a little bit, and I'm just going to squirt about a teaspoon in there, and you have the bone broth. And I'm going to put the recipe down below, but I eyeball this, but it's a 1/4 cup that you're going to want to put in here, and you're going to marinate this for about a half hour or so. If you got longer, if you could do it overnight, even better, but I don't have the time today to do that. And then I'll add in my lime juice. Now fresh squeezed limes are better, but I didn't have it fresh limes, so I'm using just regular lime juice. And I'm going to put my seasoning blend in there. So my seasoning blend is in. And then we're going to put the bone broth in it. If y'all have watched any of my videos before, you know this is my favorite way to marinate, is to put them in these plastic bags. So I'm going to zip this up. I'm going to squish it all up together. And I'm going to let it sit in there for half hour, maybe 45 minutes. And then we'll get it in the Instant Pot. And now, through the magic of YouTube, it's been marinating for about 50 minutes. I was planning on doing it for a half hour, but I was able to do it for a little bit longer. So you're going to want to remove this little rack from your Instant Pot and just remove the lid. And I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil in there, maybe a couple tablespoons. Just enough to coat the bottom. Then I'm going to turn this on saute setting, and I'm going to put the pork butt right down in there. So it doesn't take long, you can smell it already. Once you smell the oil, it's time to go in with the pork butt. And all I'm doing is just letting this cook here for maybe a minute, just enough to get the bottom a little bit browned. And then I'm going to go down and hit cancel. And then I'm going to put the lid on. And I'll leave a link to this Instant Pot. This is a good size to use for this recipe. And you know it's right when you hear that. And I'm going to go to pressure cook. So we're going to hit the pressure cook button. It's on high pressure already, which is what we want. And I'm going here for an hour and a half. Now it's going to take a while to heat up, then it's going to cook at an hour and a half, and then I'll show you what to do next when it's done. Well, I moved this outside because it was getting a little warm in there, but I forgot one thing. I forgot my secret ingredient, so I'm going to cancel this back out. It hasn't been very long, but just make sure there's no steam built up in there, so I just release it, but there's not. So I'm going to open it up, and normally I smoke this, so that's why I forgot all about this. I do it in the smoker, but I wasn't going to bring a smoker camping, so I'm going to do about a tablespoon of this in there, close it back up, hour and a half. It's getting right in there already. So this little pin right here, when you're using the Instant Pot, you got to wait until that drops down in there like that. It was sticking up before, and we were in the lake, so I forgot to show that to you. It was sticking up, but when it drops down, it's safe to open this lid. So I'm going to open it up and we'll see what it looks like. Alright, so I brought my Instant Pot back inside, and we're going to check it out and see what it looks like. And it is looking pretty good. One thing that I always do is cooked to temperature, not to time, because there's several factors that could affect if it's done or not. So I'm going to put this in, and you want this to be about 195. And if you can see, it is right there. Now what I had to do, I put it in for 90 minutes and it was not enough. So I put it in for an additional 30 minutes because this was a little bit bigger. So like I said, you want to make sure it's at that 195. And I'm going to take it out and I'm going to shred it up. It's a little tight in the camper, but hey, we love it. So I'm going to take this out. If you want to use some fancy tongs or whatever you got, you're more than welcome. I'm just going to use my little forks because I'm going to use this to shred it with too. And I got a lot of liquid in here. And what I'm going to do after I shred this, I'm going to add some of this liquid back in there to make the moisture level the way I want it. So I'm just going to take these forks like this, and maybe you got some of those fancy claws that you can go in and tear them up with, but I just use forks. It pulls right off this bone. I mean, that's some tender barbecue right there, and I didn't have to bring the smoker with me. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish shredding this up, and then I'm gonna add a little barbecue sauce. I'll show you what it looks like in just a minute. Hey, and look, don't throw this stuff away. This is like a bone broth. It's a pork bone broth, so you can use this to cook with. You can use it as a stock. You can freeze it to use later. There are a lot of different ways to use it, and there are a lot of different things you can use it for. Anything that calls for bone broth, chicken stock, chicken broth, any of that, you can substitute this, and it's got a ton of flavor. Man, that is looking good. I can't wait to eat this. I went ahead and got a barbecue sauce this time. Normally I'll make my own, but we were in a hurry to leave, and I didn't have time to make a sauce this time. You know, life happens, so you got to adapt. And so I went ahead and got this keto crafters barbecue sauce, no sugar added. Actually pretty clean ingredients: apple cider vinegar, water, tomato paste, salt, dehydrated onion, chili. It does have sucralose in it, but if you just do sucralose, it doesn't spike your blood sugar. Some people do fine with sucralose. We've tested our blood sugar and it doesn't affect us. Some people it does, but we can definitely use this one. And so I'm just going to add a little bit in. It's a good brand. It's got a good taste, and I like the fact that they don't put a lot of ingredients in there that I can't pronounce. So I'm going to add just a little bit of this in. I kind of like to leave it up to the individual on how much sauce they want, but I do want a little bit of flavor in there, so I'm going to add just a couple tablespoons. I'm going to mix it in. I'm going to mix it through there, and I'll be right back. So that is what it looks like when I'm done, and the amount of barbecue sauce I added in does not add a lot of color to it. I like to put a little bit more on mine, but some people may not like the extra barbecue sauce, so I'll leave it up to the individual. Just want a little bit extra flavor in there, but it's got plenty of flavor because of the liquid smoke and all the spices and lime juice that I put in there. So it's got some great flavor. So I hope you guys like this. I try to make recipes that are super easy to follow, to make keto easy. So if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. Consider sharing it with somebody that you know that likes barbecue or low carb cooking. Definitely give me a like down there, and I'll see you guys on the next video.